The owner of this house behind me has some major problems with their shingles. Now, they called me about a leak, but they also had a concern about some of the problems that their shingles are showing, and they wanted to know what to do. So I'm going to show you what the problems are, and I'm going to tell you what I would do if this were my roof. This roof's not really that old, so it really shouldn't have any problems, any major problems. And I'm going to have to say that the problems that they're seeing on this are due to the roofers that installed it. Not because of poor workmanship, but it's because of what they neglected to do. Let me show you what some of the problems are that are showing up on these shingles. The shingles have some major cracks in them. As you can see right here, definitely right here, and definitely right here. And this isn't even the worst of it. On the back side, so this is the west facing slope, you can see how bad these shingles are cracked. I think that the reason for this is because it's a ventilation issue. Now, when I got on the roof initially and saw all of this, first thought was, well, this is a thermal issue, meaning there's too much heat buildup in the shingles. But then when I started seeing these shingles that are cracked all the way through, almost like they were torn, then I started thinking, well, maybe it was an installer problem. Maybe the roofers were being too aggressive. But that just doesn't even make sense, and let me explain why. On this part of the roof, there aren't any problems with the shingles. It faces the same direction as that area over there. That area over there, past that furnace vent stack, that's where all the problems are. That over there is a cathedral ceiling. This over here is an attic space. In the soffit at the bottom here, there are 2 soffit vents. Over here, there are no intake vents. That leads me to conclude that those problems that we're seeing over there, that's a thermal problem, and those shingles are just baking so much, they've cracked, and now they're starting to curl up. Inside the house, the water's showing up right about there. Well, let me show you what the shingles look like right above that spot. Water's coming in probably right about here, and then we've got these cracked shingles right above it, but it's cracked right here at the top all the way over. This whole shingle is cracked. You can probably see that. And then you've got this big crack here, so we can lift that up. You can see that brown stain right here. That indicates water has been getting underneath there. Of course, water has been getting underneath there. So I think this is the source of their leak. I don't have a whole lot of doubt about that. But the bigger question is, why is this happening to their shingle? What are their options, and what would I do? First of all, they don't have any intake ventilation. And this is a cathedral ceiling, which means that in between each rafter is effectively its own little attic space. And what code requires that they do on a cathedral ceiling is that they leave about a 1-inch gap between the insulation and the bottom of the roof deck, so air can move. So if they had intake vents in the soffits, that would only be venting that one chamber, that one attic space in between those 2 rafters. So it really wouldn't do any good. But here's the other problem that they have. This ridge vent product that they've got on the house stinks. It's a terrible product, and let me explain why. This ridge vent product is basically just corrugated plastic, and then it's got a gap here that is supposed to let the air up and out of the attic and out the ridge vent. The problem is that since the design of this is so cheap and so flimsy to keep moisture from getting in there from rain and snow, bugs, that kind of stuff, they cover the bottom side of this ridge vent with a fiber mesh. It's basically the same material as what is on your furnace filter. Well, we all know what we have to do with our furnace filter every month or 3 months or whatever, we need to change it because it gets clogged up with dirt and dust. This does the exact same thing. All that air coming up out of the attic space clogs that baffle with dirt and dust. So this house has no intake ventilation, and effectively they have no exhaust ventilation. So these shingles are just baking. What are their options? Well, they could do spot repairs and just replace the shingles that are damaged the most. There's probably about 50 or 60 of those. And then they could leave the ventilation the way that it is and not address it. But then that doesn't stop the problem. Then they're going to continue having further problems in the future. One other option is replace the roof. Now, they're not going to be able to replace this roof through a warranty claim with Malarkey, the shingle manufacturer, because Malarkey could justifiably so say it's not a manufacturer's defect problem because there's no ventilation. And they would be correct, so they wouldn't have to replace it. There's no storm damage on the roof, so they can't file an insurance claim to replace it. So if they replaced it, they'd have to pay to replace the whole roof out of pocket. That's why I think the smartest option for this homeowner, and what I would do if this were my roof, is I would address the ventilation. Put a good ridge top ventilation, put a good ridge vent product on the ridge, run the calculations first and make sure that there's enough ventilation space, net-free ventilation area for the exhaust on this roof and this roof. Then put the deck air rooftop intake vents down closer to the eave of the roof, so that way we're getting airflow from the bottom to the top that spans across all those chambers, for lack of a better word. And then that stops the problem of these shingles continuing to crack. And then I would do the spot repairs. So I would identify the shingles that have maybe the worst problems and replace those. So why did this happen in the first place? I believe it's because it's what the roofer didn't do when they replaced the roof 10 years ago. The roofer should have addressed the ventilation problem at the time. But a lot of times, if you're going to change the ventilation on a roof, if it's an insurance claim, a lot of times that can be an out-of-pocket expense for the homeowner, and the homeowner might not want to pay for that. The other part of that is the roofer may be uneasy about going to a homeowner and saying, hey, by the way, it's going to cost you an extra few $100s or a couple $1,000s, whatever it might be, to fix your ventilation. But if the roofer had done that, then this homeowner now, 10 years after the roof was installed, wouldn't have to be coming up with an out-of-pocket expense to fix a problem that should have been addressed right away. Now, let's not forget about the leak. The leak, I think, was caused by the shingle defect. And it's not even really a defect. The shingles are just baking. They're not designed to withstand that kind of heat. So this also would fix the leak. So these are all expenses that the homeowner has now that if the roofer had done his job 10 years ago, the homeowner wouldn't be facing right now. If you need to understand how roofing ventilation is supposed to work to extend the life of your roof, you got to watch that video right here. And if you just want to geek out on a bunch of fascinating roofing videos, I suggest you watch the playlist right down there.